World champion Trent Hidlay just captured a title with one of the most dominant weapons in wrestling, his underhook. In the finals, he pulled off an incredible comeback, erasing an 8-point deficit to win gold. Trent's offense is relentless, and it all starts from that signature underhook. On this FloWrestling Technique Tuesday, we show you 3 chapters from his new Ocean instructional, all on underhooks. Trent breaks down the exact attacks he used on his world title run and how you can use them in your wrestling to dominate your opponents. Check it out.
We've gone over our setups, we've gone over the over-under, 3 most important parts. Now let's get into scoring. My favorite attack, the one I've hit the most often, is attacking that far knee. So when I'm in my over-under position, right, I do these 3 things. I got elbow high, my shoulders in position, I get this wrist off. A lot of times guys are gonna put that leg in front so that I don't drive him. So he's gonna try to brace himself in that leg. Since I have this wrist off, it's easy for me to grab, right? But what I don't wanna do, and where I see people make a ton of mistakes, is they lunge for it and they just reach. I want to bring my hips in and step into this. So not only am I reaching for this knee, but I'm lowering my level and I'm taking a big step with this foot to cover distance. So when I get this wrist off and he stops me in my tracks, I'm in position to push this, take a big step with my left foot, level change, and attack that far knee. One thing that's also really important here is I don't want to, once I get this wrist off, I'm not just releasing it and then attacking. If I release this, he's just going to go back to an underhook, and now I'm back to square one. So when I get this off, I'm using this, I'm going to push it into his hip, and I want my chest to glue that into his thigh as I attack. So I get this off, as I take this step and I lower my level, I'm pushing this in, and I'm trapping that arm with my chest. Now I'm in a really, really solid position to use my underhook and drive him that way to take him over his knee for the finish. So for the finish, like I said, I'm using this underhook to drive over that knee. I'm still running my feet. Where I said people get in the mistake of, if they lunge for this, right, my hips aren't in, it's hard for me to drive. I've got to get my hips in to this position, or now I can drive and use this underhook to take him to the mat. So again, all these things are happening. I get this wrist off, that's square one, that's step 1. I'm pushing this in, taking a big step with my left foot, lowering my level, bringing in my hips, trapping this arm, and now my underhook's going to drive through that far knee for the takedown. Here's a look at me just hitting a couple of reps like I would in a drill. One more. Notice the hips coming in the drive. Get this wrist up. Let's take it. So with this far knee pick, one really creative finish that I started using a lot more in college as guys started to defend my far knee pick is just using them taking that back step, and then I'm going to use my underhook to rotate them down the other way. This is where pinching this wrist into his thigh is really important, right? When I take this attack, I talked about it before, I don't want to just release the wrist and go here, because if he takes his leg back and gets an underhook, now I have no finish. If I can use my chest to glue this wrist in, I keep myself in this position, so now that if he takes his leg back, all his weight is really off balance onto this foot, and all I'm going to do here, use my underhook to pull and rotate. I'm going to use my head to push that way, and then instead of driving through, I'm going to pull him back this way and rotate him to his back. Again, highlighting the importance of taking this wrist off, pinching it in with my chest onto his thigh, and keeping my hips in, because I want to be able to finish this move regardless if I drive through or I take him back. So the other part of this too, I want to drive through this every time. My number 1 takedown is pushing this through, running that down, and taking it to his back. But maybe I get that takedown in the first period. I come back in this position, I push, I'm in position. Now he's ready to defend that. He pulls it back. I'm rotating, using my head, pulling this, take him to his back that way. So showing this finish from this side, I want you to see this underhook action, pulling it and rotating him down. So I'm doing the same move, taking that wrist off, I'm looking to go far knee pick and drive. He pulls that leg back, and immediately I'm using this underhook, pulling his lat down, rotating him to his back. So wrist goes in here. I feel him pull that leg back. I'm using that underhook, rotating hard, using my head to take him to his back. One more time. Pull that leg back, immediately rotating, taking him to his back. So with this far knee pick as well, I highlighted a couple of really important parts. Pinching that wrist, bringing my hips in. Why it's really important to bring my hips in is I always want to be ready to drop down to a double if I need to. If this guy's really strong and I can't go far knee pick and I can't rotate him back, I might still get to this position. I want to be ready, right? If he pulls this leg back and he's defending, to drop this hand and just drive through to a blast double or pick him up and finish. So the importance of having my hips in, I can drop my hand, my head's in good position, I have this hand pinched. If I don't bring my hips in, I might get a bite of that leg, but if I try to drive from here, I'm not finishing that takedown. So importance of bringing my hips in. I want to give myself these options to finish if the far knee pick's not there. So if I take this shot, my hips are in, I'm in a good position. I can knee slide into my double and finish hard. Much time with the finish. I'm in here. Importance of bringing my hips in. Maybe I can't go far knee pick. Maybe I can't pull them through, but I can drop this hand to a double, knee slide, and finish that takedown. So now let's look at how these all translate into maybe a drill where I'm looking to finish one of each. So obviously, my number one attack, I want to wrestle to this far knee pick. I feel him defend, he pulls his leg back. I'm ready to rotate and put him to his back. If he stops both of those, I'm ready to drop down to a double.
Thanks for watching Trent Hidlay's Technique Tuesday. If you want more technique, head to athletesocean.com or download the Athletes Ocean app for a full catalog of technique taught by Trent Hidlay and other world-class athletes. Let us know in the comments what you want to learn next. Be sure to like this video and share it with your friends. Also, make sure you follow and subscribe to FloWrestling for more technique every Tuesday. See you next time.